freedom fighters. I'm coming back at you with another one. Today we're going to discuss Trump's first week in office. What did we get? And I guess to look forward at what we can expect. But yeah, so I was happy with a couple of his executive orders when he first came in. I see that he signed that he ended birthright citizenship, which is a good thing. They've talked about that for a while, and it's definitely been taken advantage of. I mean, people have been doing, I guess, what they call the birth tourism and stuff. So, and it's not, who you would expect. It's not like South American Consuela or whatever who wants to be a maid or whatnot. It's mainly China or Russia. Our two main adversaries, our biggest enemies. They basically say, the government says, hey, Mrs. Ching Chong or Miss Mavokovich or whatever, how would you like to go to the United States on an all expenses paid vacation? Why don't you go experience, one of the wonderful beaches on the coast of California or go to Vegas or something? A pregnant lady, with maybe a month or a few weeks left before her delivery, and she goes on an expensive paid vacation and then ends up popping out little, Chinese Junior or Russian Junior on American soil, and then you got, a citizen, which, eventually leads to chain migration and stuff like that. I don't think he's touched on that or ended that one yet, but that's another big one because, then you get these people that are like, oh, well, my kid's a citizen, or, most of the time someone becomes a naturalized citizen, and that gives a pathway to, bring the whole family in. But, of course, CNN, MSNBC, all the talking heads were, running like with their head cut off. Um, like it's a five alarm fire. See, we told you. His first day in office, he took racist action against, Hispanics and black and brown. And again, like I said, it's actually not the black and brown like you would expect. It's not, it's not South Americans, it's not Africans, it's not Arabs or, any of these kind of people. It's mainly, you see most of that coming from China and Russia. But, I mean, don't get me wrong, the others do it too, but they do it usually a different way. I mean, obviously, just crossing the border, or again, they'll bring someone in on a work visa or something like that, get naturalized citizenship, and then they go the chain migration route. But, glad to see that. It's a step in the right direction. We also got, he freed the J6ers, which was good. And I didn't follow up completely on that, but I'm not sure if he did it all. I think he blanket pardoned all of them because, obviously all the pardons out the door that the Bidens put out. He said, you know what, these people are gonna get let loose, and supposedly a couple of the prisons are refusing to let a couple of them out. So I have to look back into that and kind of figure out what they're doing with that. But I posted a comment on True Social and Twitter, X, that I don't know the exact like process of these pardons or exactly what they got. I know you can commute sentences, but does a pardon completely erase the felony from the record for those that were convicted of felonies? I mean, there was a lot that were just like misdemeanor trespassing and stuff like that, but the ones who actually got felonies, did that get removed? And ultimately, I follow this one guy on True Social who I follow a couple actually. A guy here on YouTube. There's a guy on Twitter. Um, but they got charged with felony cases, and he posted videos of like the raid on his house and all that, and they took his firearms. And obviously, any of these people who were convicted of felonies, they took their firearms, they were confiscated unconstitutionally, and then, you know, again, we've all gone through the whole part of this. This is exactly why they want to tie felonies to gun ownership, and especially people like this, because the people who will rebel, the people who will resist the system, they have to get firearms out of their hands. So what I wrote in that X post is we got to get firearms back in their hands. If their slate is truly wiped clean, even if it isn't, because you know what, how I believe, but um, it shall not be infringed. So whether they have a felony on the record or not doesn't matter to me. But for all legality purposes, I was calling on Glock and Ruger and Smith and Wesson and um, Benelli and Beretta and Mossberg, whatever. All these gun companies, all these gun tubers, Mr. Coleon Noir, Garand Thumb, these distributors, Palmetto State Armory, all these people, Bud's Gun Shop, Lucky Gunner, Bulk Ammo, all these people should be, throwing in a fund to restore these people's rights if they're not already given, and then gift them some firearms. Um, Definitely get some guns back in these people's hands, because those are the people we need who actually proved, that they're willing to take action and heed the call to defend the republic. So yeah, that was another good outlook. I'm trying to see. I think he signed over like 100 EOs, but I just kind of got a highlight of it. What I didn't see in there, I guess let's talk about what I didn't see. Didn't he say day one he was gonna stop like social security taxes and tax on not income? God, I wish, right? There should be none, but um tips, taxes on tips, a few other avenues he was talking about. He needs to just go ahead and wipe the IRS clean, really. Take them out. But yeah, looking forward to that. Why not? Another thing I've always said about the Second Amendment, why not just broad stroke of a pen say all gun laws are unconstitutional? Say from this point forward, we're not enforcing any gun law legislation. It seems like such an easy way to do it, but also all these pro, Second Amendment politicians and stuff, they always still they'll be on Fox News or conservative media telling you how pro 2A they are, and then once they're in office, it's like, well, 2A with stipulations. Oh, I'm a supporter of the 2A, but well, I don't think you should be able to do this, or I don't think you should be able to have that, and you surely can't carry it here, or you can't do this, you can't do that. So, that's kind of a worry I have, with Trump's previous past of bump stocks and, um, previous vans, and talking about the red flag laws and stuff, that, we're only one event away from him, reevaluating his position or getting talked into, oh, maybe we should ban this, but, you know. And then the raids didn't take place. He said day one immigration raids because supposedly the plans got leaked out and he couldn't do that. But supposedly I think they did catch a couple people. He said there was like some kind of border operation or something. They are working on the border, but man, that's pretty much what I just wanted. I'm gonna keep it short and quick today. I just wanted to do a little, catch up with you guys, talk about this first week, and have you rate, his first week, in his presidency, his second presidency, and I'm hoping this one he goes all out, and I'd rate it at like a B or a B plus. Yeah, I saw some good things. Did we get everything we want? Like I just said, of course not. And that's not realistic. But um, yeah, and then he laughed in the face of the woke pastor. That was pretty great. Um, and like I said, man, I'm pretty much you know aside from the political process. But at the end of the day, I mean, I'm not going to lie, this was the preferable outcome. I mean, none of this stuff would have happened, if Kamala was in there. But I realize that's the avenue. They get you to buy into the theater. So eventually they can, screw you or stab you in the back. So I just take everything with a grain of salt and, view the theater from a distance, kind of keep eyes on the news and stuff like that. And basically just wondering what you guys were thinking about it. But yeah, man, that's it, man. Short and sweet. Tell me what you guys think. And until the next one, you know what it is, man. We are on our own. Nobody's coming to save us. So get right with God, because only God can save you. Freedom Fighters out.